All right, so real quick, I just wanted to talk about this Reddit post here. I'm probably not gonna make this a long video, but I just thought it was really interesting and it caught my eye, and I want to talk to you guys about it, right? And it's about Apocalypse. It's from MD, a bunch of eights. I'm gonna upload this right now, but what he says, Apocalypse is finally here, and who cares, right? He mentioned this should have been an exciting moment, a conclusion to the year-long Apocalypse saga, but I really don't care. Anyone else feel this way? Scopely is killing the game, and it just feels like, what's the point? I know Scopely wants to frustrate us into spending, but there is a fine line, and Scopely crossed it. Very little of this game brings enjoyment any longer. So I know made a video about this last week, right? Where, you know, there was a rumor out that we might be getting another year-long legendary. Check out the video if you haven't done so already. But this kind of emphasizes what I was talking about, because I mentioned something like this in that video where I'm just like, I'm not really hearing a lot of excitement from players as it pertains to Apocalypse and then being able to get this character. Now, there are some details here where I think a lot of players thought they were going to be short, be able to get Apocalypse, but it sounds like people will be able to get ions here from these events, from the Apocalypse saga. So players might actually be able to get Apocalypse after all. But either way, I'm just not really hearing a lot of people super excited about getting Apocalypse. What I'm hearing more of is, hey, as soon as I get Apocalypse, I am done with Marvel Strike Force. I want to grind it out and finish it because I've been working towards this for over a year now, and I just want to be able to get him and then move on and at least know that I got something for what I did. And I feel like that's not a very good thing here for Scopely, not a very good thing for Marvel Strike Force, not really a good thing for our community, right? Like, I personally don't want to lose more players in Marvel Strike Force because I'd like to be able to interact with the community, and it hurts when I see players in my alliance who are just constantly frustrated with what's going on, the month-long events, the grindiness of the events, how convoluted things are when it pertains to the events. It's really disheartening at times to really see that, you know, in my alliance, but then I'm hearing I'm seeing it in other people's alliances. Well, I'm seeing it on the Twitch streams, I'm seeing it in the Discords, I'm seeing it on YouTube, right? Like, you guys mention it at times as well. And I don't know, like, what do they need to do at this point in order to be able to change that? And I don't know if they can. And I think a lot of the things that I've talked about before are things that they could implement, right? Like, or they should at least address. Like, there's bottlenecks. Yes, those are big things. But I think one of the things that have really kind of killed players or killed players' desire to want to continue to go on in this game has a lot to do with, like, autonomy, right? Like, players are not super excited about having to build X and not being able to build anything else that they desire to build, which is the reason why, like, if you watch my previous video here where I talked about, hey, like, this month for the month-long event, there's no new character shards in the milestones. This might be your opportunity for you to then go after just building out some of the stuff that you want to build out, as opposed to having to try to grind these events and then try to get extra character shards for a new character, right? Like, this may be the month where you kind of get an opportunity to do that. There's not enough autonomy in this game right now where players can kind of just build what they desire. And I was thinking about this, you know, earlier today, and I was just like, what if, you know, players were able to build any bio characters that they wanted, and then they could really theory craft the bio section of the Doom raids, as opposed to, here is this team that you have to use for the bio Doom raids, and then, you know, they double down, of course, with the Apocalypse teams, and then of course you have the Cosmic Crucible teams now. It's just like there's really no autonomy in this game, and that essentially kind of ruins the fun in Marvel Strike Force. And the month-long events made it super grindy. It kind of eliminated a lot of the fun, the 3-star characters, and then of course now with an event like what they're doing with Kang, what they did with Kang, where they didn't make the event run after the character event for Kang. They didn't have the campaign right after, so players could actually really be able to build them up and then use them in that event. They didn't do that, and they're kind of doing something similar-ish with Moonstone right now. Like, little things like that are really kind of what's grinding away at the community, on top of the fact that, of course, the offers are really expensive now. You know, used to before, there was a 2-star character you could get for 45 shard. A 2-star unlock was $25. Now everything is $50, and we're seeing $60. Like, it's really crazy right now. So I don't know, like, I look at things like this and posts like this, and it just makes me a little sad, because I'm like, oh my goodness, like, nobody's excited for Apocalypse. And I'll be honest with you, like, I'm not like super excited for Apocalypse either. Like, I'm curious. I'm like, my curiosity is spiked to see how this character is going to perform, and ultimately having Apocalypse will be an exciting moment because it is a new character that I get to unlock, right? So from that perspective, there is going to be joy there. But at the end of the day, like, that dopamine hit only lasts for so long, right? Until you realize that you have to go through this again, potentially for another year-long event if they choose to go down that route, based on what the rumors have said. So like things like that. And this player obviously is upset because you're like, looks like Scopely is killing the game. It feels like, what's the point? I know Scopely wants to frustrate us into spending, but there has to be a fine line, and they've crossed it. And I think the line that they've crossed is that they've forgotten that this game is ultimately supposed to be fun, and it is not fun anymore in a lot of these different areas. There is fun to have in some areas, but there's not enough of it in other areas. And I think a lot of it comes down to the lack of theory crafting, the bottlenecks, these super grindy events where players aren't really able to get a lot of shards. These events now are just basically spend events, and I think that that's kind of what's grinding away at players right now in MSF. But let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I didn't want to make this a long video. I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent here, so forgive me for that. But what are your guys' thoughts? Like, where do you stand as it pertains to Marvel Strike Force right now? Like, are you feeling like, are you excited for Apocalypse, right? Are you not excited for Apocalypse? Are you kind of just like, yeah, whatever, bro, like, I don't really care? Like, let me know what your thoughts are. Shout out to MD, you know, a really good post there. Thank you for putting this up. You know, definitely sparked a lot of thoughts for me where that's concerned. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. Check out the links that are down below in the description, Discord, Twitch, all that. Patreon, guys, support me on Patreon for just $1 a month. And until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.